So this is what has been holding us up. Good morning guys, and welcome back to the shop on what is weekend 3, video 3 on the Chevy. And great news, yes, the parts are here. So without further ado, let's get to it. So here we go. We have the actual bracket which holds the caliper. Now, let me get this orientated. Now the nut will sit something like that. The steering arm will come up underneath and connect there. And it's 4 bolts basically, and that's the bracket on. So let's get to it. I think the first one I'll get the steering arm just in place. And these are all nylock self-locking nuts, by the way. They come in the kit. So now we have one long bolt. This one will actually go through the bottom of the bracket about there. It also goes through the steering arm and that lug on the bottom of the caliper bracket. So that is why I wanted to get the steering arm, the front bolt on the steering arm in first. Now, the upper bolts, they come with both, you have the bolt and a spacer. And spacer just simply slips in there. Bolt goes through, same on the other side. A little bit of persuasion sometimes. And there we go. And that's it. Now the bottom bolt, I don't know why, but the kit does not come with an eye lock for that. So we've got to take one of the original split washers. These are spring washers, whatever you want to call them, and one of the original nuts. And that will go on the longer one. Now I'm not sure at the moment. I think, although the instructions don't mention it, we may have to actually cut the longer bolt down, because I don't know, I get the impression that it may actually impact the amount of steering you have. So that is something we'll have to figure out once we get it all into place. Okay, time to tighten it all up. Okay, now that we've got the bracket installed, it's time to now that we've got the bracket installed, it's time to get on getting this hub assembly and disc on. So first things first, let's just give this another clean down. So, one spacer. This was the thing that caused all the problems in the past. Now a very, very slight smearing of grease on here. There we go. Now this is all the components that we are going to need. I like to just spread them out. I seem to have two of these racers. I'm not entirely sure why, but I have already installed one, so yeah. Everything has been pre-greased in here. I've already greased the rear bearing, so here we go. That is nice. That is a nice fit. So this leaves this front bearing. So just standard way of greasing things. I like to do the old-fashioned method, just some grease in the palm of the hand and just work your way around the bearing, just forcing it up into place. And we'll just slip him into place there. Next we have a keyed washer. Now the one side of this is machined smoother than the other, so I don't think it really matters which way it goes in. Well then, this is interesting. On the original hub we then had this small spacer. This spacer is proving to be a very, very tight fit. Now, I assume it's just meant to just pop on. So, let's see if we just pop that back off. What I may do is, let me go take a look at the original one, see if I can find one of the originals. The nut, however, Yeah, we do need the spacer, so let me go and find one of the originals. That was bizarre, a flash of light there. I think what I'll have to do is just ease the inside of this spacer just slightly, just to make it a little bit more conducive, because I don't know, we could hammer it on, but that I fear will damage the threads, which I absolutely do not want to do. Just want to check the nut just to make sure that it is. Well, I'm going to try the original. So it's basically tighten it until you can feel drag. And then once you feel a lot of drag on this, it's a lot of it goes by feel, but we'll take it up until it's you can feel the bearing binding. We will take this up until you can feel the bearing beginning to bind. Then once that happens, we will back it off 1/4 of a turn. There we go. That's what we want. And then we go back 1/4 of a turn. Now these will need adjusting again in about 500 miles, but we will come to that later. And then it's just a matter of slipping in the cotter pin. Now, I like to put them in with the shorter side towards the vehicle, and then it's easier to bend it out. Pliers are missing. Bring one up like that, and then bring the other one sideways. And there we go. So, fill this with grease. Again, just give it a quick cleaning. everything a quick grease up there. Some grease into the cup. And that is the brake hub installed. And before I do anything else, I will clean up this rotor. You know, greasy fingerprints and all of that, get them all cleaned off. So just some run-of-the-mill brake cleaner. This just happens to be in a gallon container, but spray on works fine. Now this will take a lot of degreasing, because not only have you got all my fingerprints on it, but you've also got the original coating. So, okay, just checking on the clearance of that bolt that I mentioned earlier, the long one. And it is close, but it does clear. It is close, but it is actually clear everything, so. Yeah, the next thing that needs to refurbish on this is the kingpins. There is a little bit play in them, but that is for another day. So let's move on to the calipers. So, brake calipers. First thing we need to do is just remove these pins. Now, I'm not sure if we can actually see that here, but they just pull out. There we go. There's one. Two. Now, these mount quite simply. So first things first, everything's centralized, and then where are we at? This little dowel here, just tap it to adjust it. It. So basically I'm not tightening these up just yet. I'm going to leave them for the moment. Basically I want to get the pipes on, get them bled, just make sure that everything's nicely centralized. I mean everything's turning nicely, but you know how it goes. So next step, let's get the pipe on here. Now then, I do need to get the angle grinder into this because I cannot get this bracket off, so I will hit that now and be back in a moment. Okay. That would have been nice if we got a nut and bolt in this, but I guess not. Now let me go dismantle this on on the in the vise. I may actually use the original brackets. These ones are okay, but I don't know. Let me get this taken apart first, and then we will see what we can do with this. But yeah, I like the look of the original bracket better. I'll be back. So that's still going there. There we go, like that. There we go, like that. That'll work quite nicely. Excellent. So, and of course the hole isn't big enough to get a bolt through. Excellent. Don't tell me there's a different size. Hey guys, welcome back. Well, as you can see, the rotor and everything are now installed, calipers on, brackets, everything went together great today. However, the issue we are having is this. This rubber flexi hose does not match up with the original Chevrolet brake lines, the metal brake lines. So, not quite sure what we're going to do with that at the moment. Everywhere's closed, so it's 6 o'clock at night and on a weekend, and that's just the way it is in England. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flexi hose and one of the metal pipes. I've already dismantled them off the other side there, so I'll take them with me, and then during the week I'm going to call around a few local places and see if I can actually find anything, either a full brake pipe which would work with this caliper, or if that doesn't work, then what I will do is maybe look at making just a small bridge section there with a fitting that will connect to this flexi, and a fitting that matches up to the original metal brake pipe. So that's about it for now. Not a lot else we can do, so at least this went together. I mean, this has not been the easiest of conversions, even though on the box this was meant to be a bolt-in conversion, and it's not, but you know, that's the way it goes with old vehicles. You know, sometimes you've just got to play around with it until it fits. One other thing that I am looking at doing now then, the 6-lug, 5-lug situation. So this is the hub assembly of the original drum brakes. What I am considering doing is dismantling this and cutting it down. I'm going to see if I can actually get some time on a friend's lathe, and I want to remove the front and the rear, so it just basically leaves this center flange. And what I hope to be able to do is re-drill this to match the 5-lug, and I'm not quite sure yet how I'm going to work this out, but anyway, remove these studs and maybe bolt through. Not entirely sure yet what I'm going to do with that, but it's just an idea. Would like to go back to the 6-lug wheels. That's the main reason for doing that. So the plan is for now is to just pack everything up, call it a day, and go have something to eat. So if you're interested, I do have some merchandise. I'll stick a link down in the description below. I'll also include a link somewhere to the previous videos. Yeah, quite a sad day. I thought this would have been finished either today or tomorrow, but there we go. That's the joy of modifying old vehicles. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one.